How's it going? I'm Grant again with Tilt Industries, and this is the Elevate Your Ride series. All right, so today what we're going to be covering is service stands. That might seem intimidating. It doesn't have to be. You might be thinking, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a handyman, I wouldn't know what to do with a screwdriver if you gave it to me. That's okay. We're going to show you the simplest things, the smallest changes you can do to get the most out of the trail without having to go in the shop. Even if you're someone where you're thinking, I'll go into the shop whenever I need something worked on, that's fine. But what you'll find is that's going to be fairly often. And here's why. A mountain bike, by its design, is beefy, it's strong, it's powerful, and it was meant to be beat up. Think of how you're riding. Even if you're chilling and just riding on some green or blue trails, lots of rocks, lots of dips, that's a lot of force going on your bike, a lot of bouncing with the drivetrain, with the chain. You're gonna stretch some drivetrain cables. You're going to have the derailleur maybe get a little off-centered because the limiter screws need to be adjusted, right? All of that happens fairly often. And you'll be going into the shop, if you ride a decent amount, you're gonna be going into the shop just every couple of weeks to have them just fine-tune things. So we're gonna take the stress out of that experience and we're gonna nail down specific things that you can do, that you can learn to tune, that are very easy to tune, but will make the experience so much better. Because at the end of the day, you spend a lot on your mountain bike. Regardless of what you spend a lot and you wanna keep that in shape. So let's cover a few quick things that aren't scary to adjust that you can, okay? One is servicing your drivetrain, okay? So you've got limiter screws right here. Those limiter screws will decide how far that derailleur is going to go. The next is you've got your cable tension. So you've got to figure out how tight you want that so it's pulling the chain the right amount that it should be pulled, okay? The next is replacing your tires. If you have tubeless, you can put tubeless sealant in there. You've also got this barrel adjuster. You can learn how to adjust the barrel. So a lot of these small things that you can learn how to do will make your experience that much better. Because otherwise you're gonna be going into the shop, like I said, every couple of weeks probably, at least I would be, for sure. And so which service stand should you get? There's a number of service stands out there, whatever works for you. We've all done it to where we've balanced the bike against our leg, we balance it against a tree, we try to get the pedals just right and put it on a rock, or in our garage, we'll lean it against something. It is so much easier to have a service stand. We've all been there where we're trying to do the balancing act. A service stand is a product that's going to last you forever. You're never gonna have to buy another one again, generally. It might fall out of your truck or some extenuating circumstance, but it's gonna last you forever. So with that mindset, it's a relatively relatively inexpensive item that's gonna help you get so much out of your mountain biking experience. And so that's our first recommendation on how to get the most out of your ride, how to elevate your ride, is to make sure your bike is always at least working, right? There's nothing worse than having a derailleur that's constantly shifting. 25 years ago, if you remember riding that long ago, every bike, you'd barely hit something, it'd knock your derailleur off, and your bike was always trying to jump into it either lower or higher gear. Such a pain in the butt. Thankfully, things are so dialed these days that it's a little bit easier to get that to stay into place. But it's gonna be easy with this. And if you're thinking, I don't, everything that Grant just mentioned, I don't know what any of that means. I don't even know what a barrel adjuster is. That's okay. We're gonna have a video for each one of those things, breaking down exactly how to tune your bike to make that easy. Even down to your, the placement of your brake pads, right? You can do certain things to make sure that your rotor isn't rubbing on your brake pads. So stick around for those videos. They're gonna make a lot of sense and make your experience that much better. See you next time. So let's recap on the things that are gonna help you keep your bike in ship shape that a service stand is going to help with. You first have your limiter screws, you have your cable tension, you have your brake pad placement, you can replace your tires, you can replace sealant in your tires. It's very easy to get your pedals on with the service stand. You can adjust your barrel adjuster. You can even bleed your brakes. We're not gonna worry about that. If you want a shop to do that, just have a shop do that. We're not gonna get that intense. We're just gonna do the actual day-to-day things that are gonna help you have a more happy time.